Hi, readers. It's Miss Alexander. It's so great to see you. I'm so glad to be here with you today. I just wanted to follow up from our lesson yesterday when we learned some great fix-up strategies. So here we are today. I want you to follow along while we read today's target together. Here we go. 1, 2, get your arrow ready. 3. I can notice when my reading breaks down and use a fix-up strategy to repair it. Nicely done, readers. Way to read that target so you know exactly what to expect today. Now, Mavs, what do you notice about this car right here? Come on, what can you tell? That's right, it's broken down. And did you know the same thing happens to you when you read sometimes? That's right, it does. And I was actually reading one of my very favorite books. I'm going to let you take a little peek. I was reading Wemberly Worried. And I noticed while I was reading that my reading started to break down. The words I was reading weren't making sense. I wasn't thinking about what I was reading. And so I knew it was time to put on the brakes. Everybody say stop. That's right, put on the brakes and fix it up. Because my reading was breaking down, I was working so hard on the words, it wasn't making sense. And what I was reading, I wasn't actually thinking about. So when you notice your reading starts to break down, you're working so hard you don't know the words you're reading, and you're working so hard that you can't understand what's happening in the story, your reading's breaking down, just like the car we saw. And that's okay, because guess what? Great readers use fix-up strategies to fix it. So I was reading right here and I noticed I read Wemberly Worried that if she didn't stop, and then I got real stuck. So I just skipped it and kept going. Puddle would have no ears left at all. That word seems really important to our main character who's a big worrier. So I can't just skip it and not come back. A great strategy is to skip it and come back, but I have to make sure to come back. So Mavs, let's look at what I can do with this word right here, readers. And what kind of fix-up strategies can I use? Because I noticed I knew what was happening in the first part of the story. She was worrying and worrying. And then all of a sudden, she's hugging her lovey. I have no clue what it means or why she's hugging it. And I really don't know what to do with that new tricky word. So let's take a peek at what we can do. Great readers notice that when their reading breaks down, they use a fix-up strategy like we just talked about. And yesterday, you got to practice a couple of those fix-up strategies with Miss Wood. So let's remind ourselves of some of our fix-up strategies. If it works, we can look right here and be reminded. We can stretch it out like Stretchy the Snake, and we can tap out the sounds if we don't know the word. Let me see. W, or, e, a, I, e, Yeah, that one's too big for tapping it out. That doesn't work. What else do we have? Let's see. Find the chunks you know. Guess what? I do know a chunk in this word. Do you want to see it? I know at the end of this word, the ing are those ing brothers. Ing always says ing. They're like fancy brothers that like to sing together. Ing. I do know that, but that's about it. Okay. Skip it and come back. I did that, so now I have to use more strategies. Use my picture clues while I reread. When Wemberly was especially worried, she rubbed her ears, Wemberly worried that if she didn't stop. Oh, it looks kind of like another word I've read already. It kind of looks really similar to a word that I've actually read a lot in this book. It looks like worried, but the ending is different. So I know the ending is ing, because I just told you I know that chunk. So I could change worried into worrying. Readers, now I'm going to cross-check that, because that is my last fix-up strategy that I know right now. I know I have more that I can add to it later. Wemberly worried that if she didn't stop worrying, Petal would have no ears left at all. Oh, she's worried she's going to rub the ears off her stuffy. Because I took the time to fix it up. Let me cross-check it. Worrying. Does that look right? It looks like worrying because it has an ing at the end. Does that sound right? That sounds right to say worrying right there. Does that make sense? It totally makes sense, and now I can comprehend what's happening in the text, readers. That's amazing. So really noticing when your reading is breaking down, you're not understanding, you don't know what the words are, and you don't know what's happening in the story or the text. Your first step is to, that's right, readers, stop. And then try a fix-up strategy. So readers, now that we know several things that great readers do, I went ahead and added fix-up strategies when our reading breaks down to our awesome anchor chart of all the things we've learned so far as a reader. So remember, your number one job, reader, is to make sure you stop and fix it up. Continuing to just read the book and flip through the pages and zoom through. That's not what great readers do. Great readers stop and fix up, either when they can't read the words or they no longer know what's happening in the story. That's being a great reader. So today I want you to think about, when I read today, I plan to... What are you going to do today, reader? If your reading starts to break down and you can't read some of the words, or you no longer understand what's happening, what are you going to do? I can't wait to hear from you. See you later, reader.